Imagine a government laboratory, sealed off from the rest of the world, announcing they have built a machine that the most advanced scientists in America call physically impossible. Not difficult, not years away, impossible. And yet, in 2026, that is exactly the claim coming out of China's quantum research program. This is not a rumor from an anonymous source. This is not speculation from a tech blog. This is a documented, escalating standoff between the two most powerful nations on Earth. And it is happening right now, while most of the world is distracted by everything else in the headlines. If you think the AI race was intense, what is unfolding in quantum computing right now is on an entirely different level, and almost nobody is talking about it the way they should be. To understand why this matters so much, you need to understand what is actually at stake. Quantum computing is not just a faster version of the computer you're using right now. It is a completely different category of machine, one capable of breaking encryption. Systems that protect every bank account, every military communication, every government secret on the planet. Whoever achieves a stable, scalable quantum computer first does not just win a technology race. They gain the ability to potentially crack the digital locks protecting the entire global financial system and every classified military database on Earth. This is why the United States government has officially classified advanced quantum research as a matter of national security. This is why China has poured an estimated $15 billion in government funding into quantum programs, with some unofficial estimates suggesting the real number is significantly higher. This is not a corporate rivalry between Google and IBM anymore. This is a nation-level arms race, and the weapon is mathematics. If that does not already sound serious enough to you, hit like and subscribe right now, because what China just claimed is about to make this story even more intense. So what exactly did China claim, and why are American scientists calling it impossible? Everything comes down to a specific announcement from a Chinese state-backed quantum lab in early 2026. Researchers reported achieving what they called sustained quantum coherence at a scale previously thought to be years away from practical achievement. In simple terms, coherence is the ability to keep quantum bits, or qubits, stable long enough to perform meaningful calculations before they collapse due to environmental interference. This has been one of the single hardest problems in all of quantum physics. American researchers at institutions including MIT and the University of Chicago publicly questioned the claim, with several physicists stating that the reported coherence times exceeded what current materials science should theoretically allow. Read that again. Not difficult, not unlikely. Theoretically, it should not be possible with publicly known materials and methods. That gap between what China claims to have achieved and what American scientists believe is physically possible is exactly where this story gets uncomfortable. There are really only a few explanations for that gap, and every single one of them is significant. The first possibility is that Chinese researchers have made a genuine material science breakthrough that has not yet been shared with the international scientific community, something that would represent a massive leap ahead of publicly known American and European research. The second possibility is that the announcement is exaggerated or misrepresented for political and strategic purposes, designed to project technological dominance and unsettle rival nations. And the third possibility, the one that has American intelligence agencies paying very close attention, is that China has classified breakthroughs occurring inside military-linked research facilities that are deliberately being kept separate from civilian publications. Chinese state media has historically been selective about what quantum achievements are publicized, often timing announcements to coincide with major geopolitical moments. Whether this latest claim is genuine, exaggerated, or partially hidden, the uncertainty itself is the point. The United States no longer knows for certain how far ahead or behind China actually is, and that uncertainty is forcing a level of urgency inside American quantum programs that did not exist even 2 years ago. If this level of secrecy and global competition is not enough to make you rethink how serious this race actually is, then nothing will. The American response has been swift and unmistakably serious. The Department of Energy and the National Quantum Initiative have both increased funding allocations for fault-tolerant quantum research, with some reports suggesting classified defense budgets now include dedicated quantum security programs aimed specifically at countering foreign breakthroughs. Companies like IBM, Google, and Microsoft, all of whom have been racing each other commercially, are now increasingly being viewed by the American government as strategic national assets rather than simply private technology companies. This shift matters because it changes how resources, talent, and information flow. When a technology becomes classified as a matter of national security, the open scientific collaboration that historically accelerated breakthroughs slows down dramatically. Researchers stop publishing certain findings. Export controls tighten on specialized quantum hardware, components. Talented scientists face new restrictions on international collaboration. The very openness that helped quantum computing progress so quickly over the past decade is beginning to close, replaced by the secrecy of a technological Cold War. But here is what nobody is telling regular people about why this race actually matters to their everyday life. If China, or any nation, achieves a stable, scalable quantum computer before the rest of the world has transitioned to quantum-resistant encryption, the consequences would not stay confined to government servers. Banking systems, healthcare records, personal communications, and critical infrastructure controls around the world currently rely on encryption standards that a sufficiently powerful quantum computer could theoretically break. Cybersecurity experts have a specific term for this moment called Q-Day, the point at which quantum computing becomes powerful enough to compromise standard encryption. The International Organization for Standardization has already begun developing post-quantum security frameworks specifically because experts believe this is not a question of if, but when, and increasingly a question of who gets there first and what they choose to do with that capability. The bottom line is this: whether China's claim is a genuine scientific breakthrough, a strategic exaggeration, or a partially hidden military achievement, one thing is now undeniable. The global race for quantum supremacy has entered a new and far more secretive phase. The era of open scientific competition between nations is giving way to something closer to a technological Cold War, where the stakes are not bragging rights, but control over the digital infrastructure that the entire modern world depends on. The United States is no longer treating this as a future concern. It is treating it as an active threat requiring immediate national response. And every government, every corporation, and every individual relying on current encryption standards needs to understand that the question is no longer whether quantum computers will eventually break the systems. Protecting our digital lives. The real question, the one nobody can answer with certainty right now, is simply how much time is actually left. Make sure you understood this story before everyone else catches up. And if this video helped you see what is really happening behind closed doors, hit the like button and subscribe to Quantum Pulse, because this story is far from over.